Our top story now, in India's elite marine commandos are on board the hijacked Liberian ship MV Lila Norfolk. Sanitization operations are underway and all 15 Indians who were on board this hijacked ship have been rescued. Let's go across to Kadamni for all the very latest. So Kadamni, this hijacking, the news came yesterday evening. An Indian warship was then diverted to this ship, and now the news coming in just now that all 15 Indians who are on board are rescued.
Well, a great relief, of course, Gargi, now that the Marine Commandos had embarked the ship MV Lila Norfolk around 2 hours back, and they had started this operation to secure the vessel as well as for the safety of the crew. So now the news is coming in that all the parts, almost all the parts of the ship have been sanitized. All the crew members, including the 15 Indians, are safe now. And it had started yesterday, the story started yesterday, last evening, when the distress call was sent out from this ship saying that they were hijacked. Since then, INS Chennai, the warship of India, was following this ship. An aircraft had flown over the ship to make sure that the crew was okay only this morning. And since then, we have seen how it has unfolded. A warning was given to these armed miscreants who had boarded the ship to hijack it, but they did not apparently abandon it. After that, the Marine Commandos of Indian Navy embarked on the ship, and they have carried out an operation. Bit by bit, they have cleared the entire ship and started from the top, and they went to every part of it. Now the remnant of the operation is going on, where they are searching whatever parts are left over there. But the biggest news here is, after the harrowing one day, a 24-hour thing, now all the crew members are safe and the vessel is also safe. Gargi?
That's right, Kadamni, and you've been reporting on this, through the day, bringing us all the developments. Do we know more about who were these hijackers? And also, India moving very fast. Immediately, INS Chennai was then diverted. It's a naval warship. It was diverted to this ship. They sent a chopper overhead this ship to issue a warning as well. So it's been fairly dramatic. And, just a few moments ago, the news coming in that all 15 Indians on board are safe.
Right, dramatic is the word, Gargi, because this is something, though we do not have pictures, but we can actually imagine what might be happening on that ship. It is a dramatic thing which has happened over there, but the identity of these people who had embarked for hijacking the ship is still not clear. Whether they were Somalian pirates or someone else, it's still not clear. But the thing is, since the Houthi attacks started in Red Sea and Arabian Sea, from that time itself, India has been stepping up its operations there. It has added more ships, warships there. Now there are 4 warships and a frigate operating there for the safety of these vessels, the bulk carriers who are traversing the area. So this was one of the times where this ship was diverted, as the Navy officials have been saying, from piracy duties, and it went for the help of this ship in distress. And now we have come to know that all is well on that vessel once again, thanks to INS Chennai and the naval officers and commandos there.
Right, and were any other nations, involved in this entire operation? We do know that the initial news of the hijacking actually came from the UK Maritime Trade Operations that was monitoring all these ships in this region. As you said, there's been a lot of activity in the oceans and the seas. There's been a lot of concern over the safety of ships as well, and patrolling has increased.
Well, this is one of the UK Maritime Trade Operations is one of those portals which keep an eye on whatever is happening on these very sensitive zones, which are the shipping lanes of the world. Most of the world's shipping traverses this area. Now, the stress signal, the distress signal had gone from the ship to that organization, and then Indian Navy had received it. But the thing is, it was not only Indian Navy. Indian Navy in that area has been coordinating with the naval ships of other countries as well. Though India is not a part of US-led coalition on this Operation Prosperity Guardian, where 12 countries are part of it, and they have issued a warning to Houthi rebels. But India also is coordinating with other countries in the area, and its presence there, very close to this vessel which was hijacked today, has actually worked in favor of that vessel, and the crew is safe. And it is also a message that India would be doing whatever possible for the safety of ships in that area.
All right, Kadamni, thanks so much for joining us with all those details. So that's the big breaking news coming in right now. Good news that within 24 hours, the Indians on board this hijacked ship are all safe. They've all been rescued. India diverting its warship to this hijacked ship, and the elite commandos then conducting the sanitization operations, and the 15 Indians on board, as we said, have been rescued. Well, moving on to other news, and news now from West Bengal, where this morning a team of officers of the Enforcement Directorate were attacked during a raid on a Trinamool Congress leader's residence. This was in North 24 Parganas district. The ED officers, accompanied by a few personnel of the Central Forces, were conducting the raids on the house of Shahjahan Sheikh, a local Trinamool leader, when hundreds of locals allegedly overpowered them. The incident has turned into yet another massive political flashpoint between the ruling Trinamool government and also the BJP and Congress, both critical of the ruling government.
A mob attack on team of officials from the Enforcement Directorate at Sandeshkhali block of North 24 Parganas district of West Bengal, about 80 kilometers away from Kolkata. The ED team was reportedly surrounded and attacked by a violent mob when they went to conduct searches at the house of a TMC functionary and influential local leader. The searches were in connection to the ration scam. As per the ED, officers sustained injuries and several vehicles carrying Central Forces were ransacked. This was the first such attack on ED in Bengal. Governor has hit out at the TMC government, giving them a terse warning.
The ghastly incident is alarming, is deplorable. It is the bounden duty of a civilized government to stop barbarism and vandalism in a democracy. If government fails in its basic duty, then the Constitution of India will definitely take its course.
The Enforcement Directorate has been investigating into several cases in West Bengal, including the teachers recruitment scam, the PDS scam, and in past have questioned several TMC leaders, including Abhishek Banerjee. State Minister Jyotipriya Malik was arrested by ED last year. However, Trinamool Congress had been accusing Centre of misusing central agencies against opposition parties. And this incident at Sandeshkhali is going to be yet another flashpoint between the Trinamool Congress and the BJP.
आज पश्चिम बंगाल के लिए ब्लैक डे है। शाहजहां का जो बाहिनी है, गुंडा बाहिनी है, वो लोग पूरा अटैक किया पूरा ईडी सीबीआई अधिकारी के ऊपर। दुख का बात है, ये जवाब 2024 में पश्चिम बंगाल का जनता ने देंगे।
Any kind of violence is not supported by Trinamool Congress. But the villagers were complaining that they were provoked by the central forces which were accompanying the investigative agencies.
TMC also found itself being targeted by the Congress, its ally in India bloc.
इसमें ये जगजाहिर होते हैं कि बंगाल में कानून और व्यवस्था की हाल कितना बुरा होते जा रहे हैं। आज जख्मी हुए हैं, कल ईडी वाले अगर खत्म हो जाए, खून हो जाए, तो हमें मुझ जैसे लोगों के लिए ये आज की बात नहीं होगी।
With Bengal being one of the states BJP is targeting to win big in the Lok Sabha elections, this attack on the Central Investigating Agency has given fresh political fodder to the parties in the state. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Now, news from Karnataka, and the Central Bureau of Investigation today approached the Karnataka High Court against the state government's decision. That's the Congress government in the state's decision to take away the disproportionate assets case against Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar from the agency and refer it to the Lokayukta. Now, the Karnataka High Court has referred this plea to a larger bench, while D.K. Shivakumar has called the move harassment and politically motivated. Let's go across to Pratibha for more on this story. And Pratibha, when this case was taken away from the CBI, handed over to the Lokayukta, there had been a huge amount of criticism coming from the BJP and the JDS as well, and now the matter has been referred to a larger bench. The Congress, though, and DKS, claiming that this is all politically motivated.
Well, in fact, it was not just criticism from the BJP as well as the JDS at that point in time. It was during the end of November and December when the Congress government had handed over this case to the Lokayukta and had withdrawn its consent. This definitely worked as a shot in the arm for DK Shivakumar at that point in time, mainly because he has been looking to move ahead in terms of his political career. Remember, he's also one of the CM aspirants ever since the Congress came to power. He's been clamoring for the CM's post, and he decided to make this move, especially the DA case which had been haunting him or stopping him from grabbing the CM's throne is now out of the way, and he could really make his way soon after the Lok Sabha election. That was the plan ahead, but then now with this CBI's appeal at the Karnataka High Court, it has definitely worked as a setback. However, DK Shivakumar has claimed that he would fight this at the court and that the Congress government would give its befitting reply. He has also mentioned that, like you mentioned, he's been time and again been harassed and that this is part of a political conspiracy. Well, we'll have to see what the court would really, how the court would really take this forward once this is referred to a larger bench, when the hearing would be, whether that would really impede into the progress that will be made by DK Shivakumar in terms of his political career or not, will definitely be interesting to watch.
All right, Pratibha, thanks so much for joining us there with all those details. Now, returning to our top story, and all Indians on board the vessel that was hijacked are now safe. That's what the Navy had to say, as the Commandos have sanitized this hijacked ship. Remember, this is the Liberian ship MV Lila Norfolk that was hijacked yesterday, and India diverting our warship INS Chennai to this ship. And now the Navy Commandos, the elite Commandos, Marcos, went on board after issuing a warning asking the hijackers to abandon ship. And now the great news that's come in is that all the Indians, 15 on board, are all safe. The crew is safe. Well, to talk more about this, we're now joined by Captain DK Sharma, former spokesperson of the Navy. Thank you so much for joining us. And we can just, imagine how dramatic all this was in the last 24 hours since the news broke of the hijacking, India moving fast, diverting its warship, and now all Indians on board are safe.
Well, Gargi, this is what you accrue when Indian Navy has done such a massive mission-based deployment in that part of the world where we are already facing the threat of the Houthi rebels. And this also came in between. 10, 12 days back, we had the case of MV Rowan, which was hijacked. And this came last evening when the UK MTO reported that a Liberian-flagged vessel, MV Lila Norfolk, with 15 Indian seafarers on board. So that was a cause of concern, and since Indian Navy had the ships over there, the SOS, the hijack call or whatever the ship had decided to put out was responded by Indian Navy with alacrity, and they closed in. And you see the results today that before sunset, they were there in vicinity and they had boarded it, sanitized the ship. Now they will go into the Citadel. Citadel is the safe place where the crew is holed up so that no harm can be brought upon them. Now the commandos will go over there, make sure that there is no pirate, or if the pirates are there, they will be arrested or maybe detained, and the crew will be set free, and probably the ship will resume the voyage.
That's right. And sir, it's because, there was already trouble in these areas. There was a threat to vessels because of the Houthi rebels is the reason why patrolling was increased, and at least 4 of our warships diverted to the area to, conduct operations, to keep an eye on any sort of danger that any of the merchant vessels may be in.
That's true. That's right, Gagi. The point is that there is so much of problem over there. The whole of the world trade is being rerouted. The ships are not coming through the Suez Canal just because of this problem. And we had this compounded by the pirates, which are on this side, from the Somali side. And it's quite surprising that they went up to 450 miles away from their coast and boarded the ship. So they had to pay the price for it. And of course, the presence of Indian Navy over there, which has been there from 2008, has now been strengthened many-fold with the top-of-the-line destroyers over there. And they did a marvelous job that within 24 hours they have, secured the ship, freed the ship, and probably the ship will now go back. And the confidence of the merchant marine increases manifold that once they know the Indian Navy is in area, and other forces are also there, of course. But all this only sends a positive signal that there are navies of the world who are there to protect the sea lanes of communication and will come into action as soon as you pipe up.
All right. Thank you so much, Captain D.K. Sharma, for speaking to us. And that's the big breaking news. All Indians on board the ship are safe. And as the Captain D.K. Sharma was saying, that soon the merchant ship will be on its way. Right-wing activist Shrikant Pujari, who was recently arrested in Karnataka for allegedly being involved in riots after the demolition of the Babri Masjid in Ayodhya back in 1992, was granted bail today. But this issue has become a huge controversy in the state. The BJP had taken to the streets to protest his arrest, calling the state government anti-Hindu, with the BJP legislature party leader even courting arrest. Drama continued in Karnataka as the leader of opposition in the state assembly, R. Ashok, courted arrest at the Cubbon Park police station in Bengaluru. This was part of the protest by the party against the arrest of Shrikant Tiwari, a Sangh Parivar activist, in a 31-year-old case. Tiwari was accused in cases of violence during the 1992 Ram Janmabhoomi agitation in the communally sensitive Hubballi-Dharwad area. As the BJP tried making a political point, the Hubballi sessions granted him bail with conditions.
हमने कोर्ट के सामने उसके नजर में लाने के बाद माननीय न्यायालय ने आज के दिवस उसका बेल पिटीशन को अलाउ किया है। आज मेरे ख्याल से आज 6 बजे तक वो रिलीज हो जाएगा।
By opening this 30-year-old case, the Congress seems to be sending a message of cracking down on any mobilization ahead of the Ram Mandir consecration on 22nd January. The BJP, in the meanwhile, has accused the Congress of appeasement politics. However, dissenting BJP leader and MLC H. Vishwanath set off a flutter by questioning the party's protests.
Who is Shrikant Pujari? He's not Karsevak, he's a criminal. More than 15 criminal cases against him. Illicit liquor, gambling, eloping. So many criminal cases against him. Do you call him a Karsevak?
While several questions have been raised about the opening of such an old case, this confrontation in the state could get stronger in the run-up to the Ram Temple inauguration. Nehal Kidwai's report for NDTV.
In other news, 2 ancestral properties belonging to underworld Don and one of India's most wanted, Dawood Ibrahim, were auctioned off today in Maharashtra's Ratnagiri. Out of the 4 properties put up for auction, 2 of the land parcels got no bids, while one, which had a reserve price of just 15,000 rupees, was sold for an eye-popping 2 crore. One of the buyers says he will now set up a Sanatan school on the property.
जो प्रॉपर्टी मुझे कुछ लाख में मिल रही थी, उसके लिए 2 करोड़ 1 लाख रुपए क्यों? तो मेरा ये कहना है कि मैं सनातनी हिंदू हूँ और हम लोग जो चलते हैं अपने पंडित जी के हिसाब से चलते हैं, जो उसका सर्वे नंबर है ना, और उस पर ये जो अमाउंट है उसकी एक गिनती है अंक गणित में जो मेरे फेवर में जाती है, तो इसलिए मैंने इस जगह को लिया। दूसरा ये है कि इस जगह पर भी मैं बाद में स्कूल की ही स्थापना करूंगा, इसको कन्वर्ट करा के।